So let's start this conversation, talk about Sarah Silverman again.
Hmm.
So she recently had a take on her podcast talking about pretty much America splitting up. And I thought we'd listen to a quick clip of her sharing her opinion about that and then share our thoughts on it. See if we agree, disagree, or all that jazz. So here it goes.
I mean, this may be a negative thought, or maybe a positive one. I don't know. But if people aren't getting along, like in relationship, they break up, So like, why don't we just finally just realize that these states aren't working and like divide up into like 2 or 3 countries of like USA1 and USA2. And they can be USA1. Like the conservatives can be USA1 because they love being number 1 and that it means something to them. And I'd love to have that be theirs. They can be USA1, we'll be USA2, and we'll be allies. And you'll come over here and we'll go over there. And, when you come to many times when you go to a different country, you have to get a vaccine. That's it. By the end of my answer, I have no idea what the question was. I don't think I'm anywhere near it. Click on the...
That was the perfect ending.
Oh my gosh, wow. That ended phenomenally, I'm not going to lie. All right, so first off, because I kind of want to analyze every, in my opinion, dumb point she made about it all. So let's first start off with, do you think America should split up?
I want y'all to both answer before me.
No, that's stupid.
Like, I think there's too many issues with it. Like, for one, it's like, what happens when Montana wants to be a part of USA1, where Texas and Florida and Louisiana are together? You know what I mean? But in between is USA2, and then on the left
she
is
did
USA3.
not think of the geography about any of this.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And when you split, especially in countries like that, there's going to be different trade laws and stuff like that. And there's going to be just a lot of, like, issues when you have 3 separate federations within a single federation. Is that what you're implying, too? That we're still going to stay like the U.S.? And there's just going to be, like, a whole larger federation on top of everything still?
I have a question. As somebody who doesn't consider themselves liberal or conservative,
So you want to attack that point first? Let me fast forward to that then.
Wouldn't she have called the people that wanted to secede if Biden won or when Obama won, the people that wanted to secede?
I mean, both sides have been
but I'm saying, wouldn't she have said that would have been crazy?
I can see that.
Is she saying that her reason?
I mean, she's talking about secession without using the word secession.
But she's saying that is what she's talking about. So is the reason for her secession better than their reason for secession? Like, I don't.
Personally, I think secession is a stupid idea. Period.
100%.
Like, anyway, everyone talking about it, I feel like you're just talking at this point. Like, that's dumb. Like, you haven't thought that out. You're just being emotional, I would argue.
Yeah,
like,
she's kind of turned into
split the country.
She's turning into that stereotype of like the redneck who's like, we're seceding, and it's like, you're the same fucking thing. You literally are just saying the same thing. Like, you become what you hate.
My only jab, I guess, at this particular comment, like the conservatives can be USA number 1 because they love being number 1. I don't think that's a conservative thing. I feel like that varies on people. Certain people have that. That's not. I could be wrong because obviously I biased because I would lean more right. I don't know if I would say I'm a conservative or not, but I just know I lean more right. Like, is that really a conservative thing? The love of being number 1?
Let's talk about that point, okay? So let's say you have 2 siblings. One, they're both competitive, right? But they could even be twins. They could be the same person copied, playing themselves in a video game. But one is better at the video game than the other. The one that's better at the video game may allow the other one to win. And the one that wins may, all right, I'm number 1 because I beat you, or I'm number 1. But even though they feel superior or number 1, who actually feels number 1 in that situation?
The one that won?
No, the one that let the person win. Mentally, I could have beat you. I'm so superior to you that I let you be number one. So in her own example, the people that love being number one wouldn't actually
You're
be
just talking about the thing where she will even let you be USA one
Th-
because
this-
you like being number one.
exactly. So the
okay.
fact the Senate the
You lost
fact
for a
that she would
second there, but I
say
understand what you're trying. I see.
the fact that she would say I'll let you be number one
Mm-hmm.
shows she sincerely believes that they be USA number one. The whole thing is really, 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 really stupid. It's really stupid. It's so hypocritical.
So let me go on my real quick rant about it all, because I've said this on the podcast many times, and I really do believe this. Conservatives need liberals, and liberals need conservatives. We really do. Like, if you have too much conservatism, it starts leaning towards, as Jordan Peterson says, tyranny. Because conservatives believe in the hierarchy of things.
Mm-hmm.
So if you give too much of the hierarchy, it leads to tyranny.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. If you go more towards liberalism, where like everything could be everything, then you become more towards
Socialism.
chaos.
Mm-hmm.
Not socialism. You could say that, but I wouldn't. I don't think liberalism inevitably leads to socialism. I personally don't believe that.
Mm-hmm.
It's more towards, like, I guess, to use Jordan Peterson's terms, just keep it, I guess, I don't know if it's too broad or whatever, but like kind of chaotic. Like, there's too much freedom where there's no borders. Like,
A lot of gray areas.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of gray areas. Like, I don't know. It's just because we're not getting along right now, you want to break up? Like,
Can you replay it?
from the start?
Not necessarily.
Or just this little clip?
Yeah.
Which, from where? Love being number one? Or
Yeah.
like, I'll replay it. Let me finish this thought. Like, the reason why we need each other because it helps us see others' perspectives in this world. Like, if seeing it from one side, I think is so dangerous. Like, that's one reason why I appreciate Doc so much. Like, we recently got into a pretty contentious spat about the whole vaccine thing, but guess what? The following day, we're playing Magic and we're playing Dauntless together. Because at the end of the day, it's not about, like, how we necessarily view the world. It's how I appreciate you in my particular world, I guess. Like,
nah,
because
bro,
you
changed all my fucking knights into pigs. I'm still pretty pissed about that.
I gotta get back into that shit. But side note, she actually described states.
Because that just, hold on, she did, kind of. It just shows that you don't value the other perspective, which is so dangerous. Like, even though Doc and I can sometimes go at each other with our opinions, at the end of the day, I don't know, Doc, if you feel the same way, but I value Doc's opinion and his perspective. I may disagree on some of his things, but it's like I understand and like I need his perspective.
Yeah, I agree. I think the big, to me, at least in my mind, the big thing that always kind of like holds me back and makes me actually like stop and think is the like, this person isn't an idiot. You know what I mean? As soon as I think like this person's an idiot, I don't care like what you think. You know, does that make sense?
Yeah.
But like since like we've spent a lot of time together, we're good friends. When you're telling me something, even if I don't agree with it, I'm just like, but he's not an idiot. So let me actually stop and like consider it and go through it and stuff like that. So
Are you trying to sharpen each other's?
Yeah. So I think for her, she, like John said, like her feeling of supremacy is just like they're all stupid. So just let them do whatever they want on their side of the
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And also she's describing states. She's literally describing states. So let the states, she literally said these United States don't work. No, you guys keep trying to approach all the states on a federal level.
Yeah.
It's let the states do what states are.
We're a republic.
Like
we
let
are
the
a
states,
republic.
She said the states aren't working because
50
all the states don't agree. Huh? That's how it works.
That will happen sometime. That's inevitable in our system.
The whole point of the system. Like, that's all of it. So now she's describing not different countries, but we all allies.
That's
so
what we
states.
are right now.
So like basically like bigger states. But then like he said, she ignored every possible like anything that has to do with geography, she ignored throughout this whole thing. Because what if California and New York want to be considered part of the same territory?
Yeah, that'd be hard for them. I think to meet her in the middle and compromise with the whole like America 1, America 2, America 3, the best way to do it is just through political parties. And I think having a left and right, massive political parties, I think makes it too... it's
binary. It makes too binary.
Yeah, it's too binary. Like there's too much conflict. You're either on our side or their side, and then you're like, you just fight. You argue.
Only time I feel like that word actually aptly applies. Like, I agree with that. There should be at least one more party.
I've always said that, and then also but it's also association with good and evil. That's why it is binary, because one side needs to seem good, one side needs to seem evil. I also hate how her podcast is recorded. She's doing something where she's like, even though she's,
It could
I'm
be
not saying that
for,
she's
for the
not.
clip. It could be recorded differently, or are you talking about something else?
No, I'm talking about literally the like, not just the clip, but like she's doing some acting during the, like, I don't know how to explain it. It's not just her talking to the podcast, or like it's not just her looking in the camera talking like a podcast. There's like a production value to almost like where it's like, just play it. Like, you don't have to play with volume. Just like look at her face.
I guess I'm not saying what you're saying.
It just doesn't seem like she's actually like, I don't know how to explain it. It seems like a rehearsed conversation. It does not seem it does not seem like what most podcasts are, incoherent rambling
On the spot
and
kind of
on the
things, like when
spot
my thoughts just
thinking.
come.
Yeah, it's
She
like
rehearsed this?
there's some type of like,
Guys,
even
let's rehearse
every
this
look she
episode.
made was purposeful. Like, when she looks away, it seemed purposeful. When she looks at the camera, it seems purposeful. I just don't like anything that seems rehearsed as far as like this type of space when you're talking about like podcasting, or you know what I'm saying? The whole thing is supposed to seem like genuine
it's
conversation. Yeah, and it's not, I'm not saying that her idea is not hers or is disingenuous or whatever. It's just this literal clip seems like it was made for a clip. Like,
It's not from a full podcast.
Yeah, like it was just, there's something
It could
to
be a
it.
teaser.
Yeah, I get it. It just seemed, I don't know. It just seemed
So we
too.
upload clips of our
I
conversations.
get it, and maybe we're just not we're not deep enough in the game to where I can work the camera and da 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 da. Because obviously she's a professional, but when she's thinking,
Yeah,
it
her
seems
room's
like
not
she's
dark.
thinking.
Like, she's supposed to be in, like, I think, a lighter room, because right now it's hard for the light to bounce off everywhere.
But when she's thinking, she seems like she's thinking. Like every action.
Oh, I get what you
I
mean.
think
She's
she's just
really
like that.
animated.
Yeah, the animation
Yeah.
actually matches the action. I don't know how to explain it. It's just not natural. There's something unnatural about the way she's actually speaking. I wouldn't like.
Your hair is just up, and you're not sure why. And this
Yeah,
is why.
'cause
I-
you can tell
exactly.
she's performing in front of you, and so it makes
There,
it,
yeah,
makes
there's
you
some.
at ease.
There you go. That's the word. Performance.
It's a little more performative than it should be.
Boom. There you go. I don't know. And then even the way she ends, I don't know. It's just my thoughts.
Bad head drop.
Shoulder,
head drop.
big shoulders. I don't know. Just how I'm thinking.
One thing I want to, I guess, nitpick on before we move on to the next thing is just we're trying to relate America, I guess, in this phrase right here, like a relationship. Like, people just aren't getting along. Like in relationship. And I feel like it's too, I don't know if the word's simplistic, maybe naive, to compare America, I guess, the unity or whatever between America as a relationship, instead of, if you want to use it in that type of metaphor, as not a marriage, something that's a little more serious, a little more,
Can I ask the
is
question
the
then?
word, I guess, not binding, but like,
Is she talking about the relationship between the people and its government?
that's a good question.
Because technically
I
speaking,
think
she's
she's talking
saying
about
the
the people.
people should split.
Yeah, I
Up
think she's
with
meant,
each other.
I think this is all around the people, not
But
people in
then
government.
That prescribes to that there's only two ways of thinking.
Yeah, you're right. She's actually excluding the centrists, and that would just completely destroy all of her logic on it.
Like, within that logic itself, then what we would see is a whole bunch of states in a country based off what she's saying. Because then there'd be different reasons for there to be USA1 and USA2. Based on what she's saying, it actually, like, it specifies a topic or, like, a point. Why are USA1 and USA2, what do they disagree on? There's a specific point in her example, because if there was no specific point, what's to stop there from being USA 77, USA 78, just for all the black folks who eat Chinese food on Wednesday,
USA
and all the
49.
Hispanic people who don't like the word Latinx, all the like just random states, because this is America and that's how it works. And then we just segregate ourselves, and guess what? States.
There's 50 USAs. I'll have you know that.
Now there's 50 USAs just for all different reasons.
So I guess to go back to my tyranny and chaos metaphor to how liberals and conservatives tend to think, I would argue like this is the result of a liberal taking a little too far. You want to
Correct.
split up the country, and how we take it, like you're an example you said, we take it too far. There will not be 1 and 2. We'll take it all the way to, what did you go, 70?
Man, what? The second that, like, if it's just USA1 and USA2, the second that one person in USA2 is like, yeah, man, I don't know, it's kind of hot in here. Can we set all the air conditions to 73? No. Fuck that shit. I'm out of here.
And also,
USA3, come this way if you like your air conditioning on 74.
And then also, I guess I asked the last thing, but real quick, I just remembered too talking about this. Then she goes and easily says, and you'll come over here and we'll go over there. You think right when we split, we're going to want to go over there and we're going to let you come over here? Like, when we split, everything's going to be fine.
Yeah, it's not going to be like that. There's a...
How do we divide the military?
Goes back to my word I said,
yeah,
naive.
there's a lot of trade laws and stuff like that too. And I'm pretty sure, like, if you split a business because now they have to pay some kind of levy to get into USA1, and then she wants to come by USA2 and be like, fuck you, dude. Like, we can't get fucking, I don't know, wine from California, which is in USA1 anymore. Like, you think you're just cool with that? Like, there's too many issues. That's part of the issue with Brexit and why it took so long. Because they were splitting and there was just too many things that they had to account for.
But you know what's weird, too? Okay, let's just stick to her example, her limited-ass example. Let's say all conservatives joined a country, and anybody even associated with conservatism joined a country, and then vice versa with liberalism to another country. That conservative country would turn less people into liberals, and the liberal country would turn more people into conservatives because there would be an opportunity to take advantage of the other liberals there. As far as somebody has to set up businesses, somebody has to do this, somebody has to be against high taxes, somebody's eventually going to become the higher earners in that liberal society, and those people are not going to, they're going to end up with conservative values or conservative morals or conservative ways of looking at least the economics of things. So, like, they're going to be just more like, I just don't see how it's sustainable.
So when it comes to a conservative becoming a liberal becoming a conservative, you just think it's more likely for a liberal in a liberal country to become conservative than it is for a conservative to become a liberal in a conservative country?
Correct.
Okay.
Just because of the factors that
facilitate
play in.
The mentality.
Yeah.
Usually you start off liberal.
Because you're not surprised by competition. You're not surprised by, like, a lot of the things that would go into accepting it.
I understand what you mean by competition. I was going to go more on the side of the like when you start making your own money.
Yeah.
You're starting like,
mentality wise,
exactly. You start thinking a little
you're
bit
more conscious of it, and so
exactly.
Yeah.
A little more conscious of the money dynamic, and usually that tends to influence people to become more conservative, lean more conservative.
Correct.
I guess that's why a bunch of rich people are leaving California. They're just more conscious of their money because, like, they have it, and so they're like, oh shit, wait. Even if, like, you're not good with money and you have a financer, all of a sudden your finance agent's just like telling you, like, oh well, we're paying 40% to the state, and you're like, wait, what? Why? Like, okay, break it down for me. And they're like, well, here are all these fees. And like, oh shit, do I have to stay here? No. Oh well, let me think about this.
How's Texas?
How's Texas?
Yo, you made it to the end. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching Fake Deep Thinking. If you like the show, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and to share. We really appreciate everything and appreciate you. So take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
Have a good day.